Hi everyone, and welcome to this experimental video involving the PaleoARK EVO Giga. So, for those who don't already know, the EVO Giga is a big Giga TLC, and the way that you tame them is by, you have to challenge them to a fight and outlast them and beat them. And while the Giga is attacking you, it will deal torpor to itself. And thus, a common question I see frequently asked is, what is the best dino to use to tank an EVO Giga with? Now, I'll just quickly say, in my opinion, it's the vanilla stego. So that's why I got vanilla Stegosaurus here today. But the point of this video is I thought it'd just be a little bit of fun to experiment with various herbivores, or various dinosaurs actually, and just see what is the weakest or the easiest to obtain creature to knock out an EVO Giga with. Now, when I say easiest, I still think that is the stego. I do think the Stegosaurus is just by far the best one, but again, just for a bit of fun, let's go check out some alternatives. Now, like I said, for those just who might not be aware or may not have seen it, I'm just going to do like the first initial baseline test using a very standard 150 tame stego, no imprint, primitive saddle, no veggie cakes. I'm going to try and do this without veggie cakes, and this Giga over here is a wild 150, so the strongest thing I'd find in a typical playthrough. Oh, and my stego's leveled into HP. So, first of all then, let's get the heart into my inventory so that we can instigate the fight. So, for the rest of this video, I will be testing with low-level gigas, because my logic is, well, if the creature's not good enough to knock out a low level, obviously it can't knock out a high level. But just for our baseline test and example, our proof of theory, let's get a 150 giga with our 150 box standard tame stego. Did you get the challenge? Yep, you sure did. Oh, those eyes. It never gets old, this guy. Now, I'm currently in the hardened stance, so I'm taking less damage. Leveled into health, got no veggie cakes. Now, leveling into health is a red herring, because of course, the EVO Giga does bleed, and bleed is percentage-based damage. So what you want to do, and you know, obviously, like if you're leveling into health, you've got percentage-based bleed damage, it's gonna deal, like that's gonna wreck your creature. So I want to enrage it. I'm purposefully enraging it because now, when it attacks me, it's going to primarily use its regular melee and not bleeds. So what I want to see is how long can I survive the Giga just on a regular stego without the bleed. It will do the bleed occasionally, unfortunately, but it's doing it significantly less frequently. While it's enraged, it will deal more torpor to itself. And you can see it's already halfway, but I am also halfway. So it's sketchy, but imagine if I was imprinted, if I had a veggie cake, if I had a better saddle, if I was mate boosted, had a Tyrannosaurus buff. This is the baseline, and this is why I think stegos are the best ones, because as gimped and silly as my situation is right now, I am still knocking it out. I will go ahead and put a veggie cake on now, because I don't want to lose this, obviously. But you can see, in the most scuffed scenario, that did so much torpor. So, let's go ahead and just finish out the finish knockout then, shall we? We're trying to enrage it again. Now the bleed has ran out, and it shouldn't bleed as much anymore. Now when it's going to attack me during the enrage, it's going to deal significantly more torpor to itself, while I am still healing away. I may have left that a little bit too late, so I think I might lose the stego, or actually it's going to be close. Oh yeah, there you go, there you go. So again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. I'm a bit surprised that worked. I thought I was gonna lose it. So again, just to summarize, Stegosaurus with a hardened plate, leveled to HP, no imprint, no good saddle, 2 veggie cakes? Yeah, that's enough for a 150. So let's go ahead and test out some other alternatives with a lower level Giga and just see what creatures are viable. So, for this next one, I'm going to use one of my favourite herbivores, and that is the Sivatherium. I'm trying to get to level 100 giga, so a bit higher than I originally planned, but I'm confident that the Sivatherium can match up to a level 100 giga. Probably a 150. Let's go ahead and find out. So, first of all, I've already gotten the heart. Okay, cool. Now, the Sivatherium can sit down like this, and it'll cause it to take reduced damage, but I'm still susceptible to the bleed. This is, again, a health leveled, non-imprinted, primitive saddle Sivatherium. Just like before, leveling into health is a red herring, because if you let the Giga bleed you, your extra health means nothing. So once again, I'm going to try and enrage it to cause it to do less bleed damage, and thus my health is just a buffer for the regular damage it deals and not for the dot damage. So, it's enraged. I have no veggie cakes. I'm just sitting here, tanking away. There's no need for me to do any more damage to it because it's already enraged. I'm just gonna sit here and chill. This 100 Wild Giga is already halfway on its torpor. I'm getting a couple of bits of bleeding here and there. No cakes. So far, so good. It might actually... Oh, there you go. I think the enrage is about to run out. It might actually just knock out even with the one enrage. Okay, so the enrage is done, but I'm just gonna sit here and tank it. I'm gonna intentionally take this extra bleed unnecessarily, and there you go. So, safe to say that the Sivatherium is very viable. And just for context, Stego accessible at level 26, Sivatherium at 71. But that was, again, pretty easy. The benefit to using a Sivatherium over a Stego is that it runs faster. So when the Giga knocks you back, you can catch up faster. But aside from that, I mean, that was, again, another really simple one. So, for the next test, I'm going to try just a good old bog standard vanilla Paracer, something very boring, but something that you could obtain quite early in your playthrough. So, I've already failed against level 100 Wild Giga, so I'm going to try the bare minimum with a level 5 Wild Giga. Because the Paracer does not have any natural defenses, I will be giving it veggie cakes straight off the bat, but otherwise, again, leveled into health, primitive saddle, no imprint, no mate bonus, no UT raw, blah 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 blah. So this is really bog standard. I think it's staring at a Jerboa. Now, something that's really dodgy about this is that I cannot shoot off the back of the Paracer. So I'm going to try and enrage the Giga the good old-fashioned way and just hit it. Now, if I had friends with me, then they could shoot the Giga for me. But otherwise, because we don't have that, and I'm solo, we are at the mercy of the Giga's full bleed. And this is why I'm trying a level 5, because level 100 wrecked me. Okay, it looks like the Paracer might be enough, even without enraging the Giga. So you could at the very least get a level 5 Giga. But even then, you can see it's still doing quite the number on me. And I am just not enraging it as much as I am trying. It is not happening. I would need friends to do the damage with. Okay, well, you can get a 5 Giga with a 150 Paracer. That's kind of sad. Okay, since that went so smoothly, let's try level 50 Giga then. I've already healed up my Paracer, I've already given it another heart, got some more veg cakes, and let's just see if I can at least handle a 50. Now, bearing in mind again, I just cannot enrage it, so it is going to do full damage. But... oh, it's neck and neck. I'm taking a lot of damage, but it is taking a lot of torpor as well. Now, theoretically, I could have other creatures with me to attack the Giga and try and inflict that enrage, even though I'm solo. In theory, I could do that, but again, we're just trying out the bare minimum. There's so many ways to improve this and so many ways to guarantee your Giga knockouts. I just want to see what is the cheapest and crappiest method we can get away with. And so far, the Giga is slowly gaining more torpor than I am losing health. Okay, there's about to be one sleepy Giga, and there you go then. I could not enrage it, and out of 8 veggie cakes, I have 3 left, so it consumed 5 veggie cakes throughout that entire battle. Oh wow, it did happen to get a lot of base health, so I guess that helped quite a bit as well. So, like I mentioned before, even though it's all about the bleed damage, I am leveling health just to survive against the basic melees. But again, that... oh, I guess I could use Wyvern Milk actually. That's another thing. You can use lesser antidotes and Wyvern Milk to purge the bleed. So again, if you can't, you know, enrage it naturally because of the lack of rider weaponry or friends or anything, you could still use Wyvern Milk and lesser antidotes. But yeah, all things considered, that was a pretty good knockout. So, since I've been using primarily herbivores, let's try a carnivore. Let's try the carcha. So, what I want to do then is, as you can see, this carcha now has 100 blood stacks, but otherwise, bog standard, primitive saddle, no imprint, blah blah blah, you've heard it all before. For this one, I'm going to try against level 100 Giga because I've already lost against a 150. So I want to see a 100 Giga. And just to quickly show, while it's challenging, this has no points leveled into health and only a bit leveled into melee. Because my logic is, when people are playing with their carchas, they're not going to be leveling their carchas into health, are they? They're going to want to use their battle carchas. So let's just try then and see if we can manage this. As a very long challenge roar. There we go. Okay, and now we begin fighting. So, this means that my carcha is fully susceptible to the bleed attack. but I'm also blood rage, so hopefully I'll out heal some of the bleed, although it's not looking good. It's not looking good so far, but the 100 Giga is already at half torpor. There we go. Now, if I want to keep up my stacks, I do outpace the Giga, so I can just quickly run, harvest, refresh my stacks, and come back into the fight. And I can keep on doing damage to it. Oh, stand mirror. And I can keep on doing damage to it to try and get the Giga to enrage, which has finally done so. That took a very long time, but it finally enraged. So now it's going to deal bleed less frequently and deal more torpor to itself, but this was still a very sketchy fight. Oh, and any moment now? There we go. Yeah, right, so level 100, it did knock out against my 150 character, but as you can see, that was a sketchy fight. That definitely was quite risky, but it is doable. So let's try another carnivore. This time, I'm using a Reaper. Now, Reapers, oh, they are susceptible to bleed. I thought Reapers didn't get bled. Oh dear. So this one is leveled into health, and obviously has no saddle, just natural armor, leveled into HP, no veggie cakes, no any form of healing, but natural damage reduction due to it being a Reaper King. God, I thought they weren't immune to bleed. Oh, well, I obviously mugged that one up then. So suffice to say, unless you got friends or healing or U2 or any sort of support, can I shoot? No, you can't shoot, yeah. Suffice to say that you're not going to be soloing a 100 Giga with a 150 Reaper King. Although we can figure that one out quite quickly, that one's not happening at all. So let's try something a little different. I want to try an Archelon. These guys are naturally very tanky, although as I'm quickly discovering, the hardest part about using an Archelon to tank an EVO Giga with is getting to the Giga. Even though I have a heart in my inventory, as we can see right now, the hard part is getting there. And it would turn out I cannot use weapons on the back of this, which means I can't shoot the Giga to get its attention. Or I guess I could just do this. Okay, I got its attention, I dismounted and it got the heart, so that works. So now we're just going to sit back and tank it. As obviously I'm not doing the damage to enrage it, I cannot shoot it, so we are just going to sit back and endure. So, Archelon takes bleed. Did it take veggie cakes? Do Archelons take veggie cakes? I'm actually not sure about this. They do! Oh, okay. But otherwise, so, you know, leveled into health, otherwise, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, looking at the health so far versus the torpor of the Giga, this is not going to work at all. Okay, alternatively, let us try the level 50 Giga, so 100 levels lower than the 150. I was really hoping that with how tanky Archelons are that it would be enough. It was not, clearly. So let's try this one now. Against its 50, I mean, it is taking comparatively more torpor compared to, you know, its 4 meter, but I am still taking too much damage myself. So, without lots of assistance, you're not doing this with an Archelon. I think it's safe to say. Okay, now I'm just stubbornly curious, what about a level 5 Giga? Could you do anything at all? Like anything with the 150 Archelon? Is it possible? Actually, it's looking like it is. Okay, so if you wanted a really desperate level 5 Giga, you could use the Archelon, which would probably be easier to obtain than the Paracer. Well, depends on how much you like ocean combat. But, yeah, no, okay, an Archelon is enough for a low-level Giga. Just by itself, of course, with no additional help. Wow, that really is kind of sad. It's quite sad watching the turtle just get beaten up. But there you go. Halfway through my health. So without the cakes, I probably would have been even sketchier, but it was just barely enough. Okay, let's try another unusual choice. Let's go for a Mammoth against level 50 Giga, because there's no way that I'll be able to do anything against, say, a 100 or a 150. So let's try a good old 50. I've got veggie cakes. That's it. Otherwise, just veggie cakes. I cannot use my weapon, so we're just going to sit here and raw dog it. And honestly, I mean, the health to torpor ratio is not bad. It's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close. But the Mammoth is sustaining better than I expected. Again, it's only level 50 Giga. It's not anything too special. but I think I'm actually netting positive. I think it might knock out before the mammoth dies. I am trying to enrage it, of course. So if I get the enrage off, then that's just better. Okay, this has actually surprised me, but the mammoth was enough. Now, again, I did have veggie cakes. I used 5 veggie cakes during that against a 50 giga, but that actually was enough. Oh, and fun fact, this drives me crazy. I just learned about this recently. Fun fact, mammoth saddles unlockable level 31. Let's compare that to the saber-toothed tiger 37. Yeah, 31, 37. So you could get a mammoth really, really early. Now you still have to get a giga hard early. That's another topic altogether. But a mammoth might be probably the easiest one for this testing so far. Okay, so this is really, really cruel, but I really want to test this. What about a pair of Protoceratops? I'm cheating the rules a little bit on this one. So these Protoceratops are imprinted. I'm alpha buffed. Oh, it's an alpha raptor. Okay, let's try that again then. So, we have my mate boosted pair of imprinted Protoceratopses, but otherwise primitive saddle once leveled into health. Everything else so far has had about 37k health. These guys have 6k health each, so they're very fragile. They're also sugar buffed, just in case that does anything whatsoever. I'm getting sent flying. This is level 5 giga. Now, I could shoot. Shooting would make it very, very easy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could keep on shooting it in order to trigger the enrage and have it, you know, deal more torpor. But actually, let's just try. With imprint, mate boost, veggie cakes, we're not dealing extra damage to it. To a level 5 giga. Honestly, these little guys aren't doing too bad. The giga is on half torpor. This is going to work. Okay, let's try something higher level. Okay, let's go all the way for something much harder. Let's go for level 100 giga. This is obviously going to be very, very mean. Now, for this, I will enrage it. I will attempt to enrage it. I want to see if I can survive it. So, the other guy is doing his best. He's doing damage, I think. I'm not actually sure it's working. Let's keep shooting it. Now, there we go. Now, my little guy is already lost a third health, but now that the gig's about to deal more damage and deal more torpor to itself, maybe I can just about survive it. Now, the downside is that every moment it knocks me away and it has to run back to me, it's losing seconds off the enrage, and that means it will get to bleeding me again sooner. So that is very, you know, concerning. But due to him being enraged, it is doing a ton of torpor. Oh my god, what little champions! Look at them go! Now, any moment the Giga's gonna lose his enrage. Or, in fact, I think it may have just done so. Yeah, okay. Now, if I was clever, I could just run away and flee. Oh no, I think the Giga will just outrun it, to be honest. But it keeps knocking me back though, which is really good, so I can try and enrage it sooner. There we go. I've lost my other one. I'm no longer mate boosted, but the Giga did enrage again. How much health do I have left? I've got 3 veggie cakes. I've got 1600 health, but... oh no, the knockback doesn't count for torpor. Go on, I believe in you. Oh! 350 health. That actually worked. It gets a 100 giga. That actually worked. For this next one, I'm going to try a bog standard trike. Now, again, leveled into health, primitive saddle. This does have veggie cakes, but otherwise, since the stego is so incredibly effective, I want to see if the trike, another early game herbivore, compares in any way. Now, there's a big difference where the stego has its hardened plate buff, so it takes reduced damage. The trike, on the other hand, it does have the crest, so it takes less damage from the front, but the Giga might be tall enough where it will just bite like over in the back of the trike and it might not matter. So this is what I want to see now, and actually, guys, level 100 Giga, this is proving pretty effective, and every time it knocks me back, I can then just face the Giga again. In fact, Rivalry. Oh, I forgot what Rivalry actually does. I can't remember if it's like deals buffs damage or armor or whatever, but actually the Trike is doing a good job against this 100 Giga. Enraged run out. Let's go ahead and shoot it again. Yeah, actually, this is going really, really well. It's a bit funny how so far of every result, I think the Stego's the only one that's done a 150 giga, I think. I've already forgotten. But, you know, it did it with ease is what I'm trying to say. Everything else has had, like, sketchy results or lower levels, but the Trike? Dude, look at it. That was actually really clean. Hold on. Of course you have to knock me back before you knock out. There we go. Impressive. Let's try a 150. Okay, I actually just started shooting this one before it even enraged, but this is the 150 now. Oh, I just took a bunch of damage from falling. Oh, that's unfortunate. But otherwise, let's try and get that enraged quickly. There we go, it's already enraged. Practically in the beginning. So this is where, again, it should use its bleed less often and do that big stomp, which deals massive torpor to itself. But otherwise, we're gonna sit back and chill. Actually, we're not gonna sit back, we're gonna try and aim towards it as much as we can for the headshots. Or the lack of headshots, more like. Ooh, but it's just not happening. Ooh, no. This is definitely hurting significantly more. I'm going to start shooting it again because it should fall out of torpor or fall out of enrage any moment now. Oh, it is sketchy. Now, you know what? Ah! We've obviously... Yeah, okay, that obviously didn't work. Honestly, it did pretty well, all things considered. So, again... May boost, saddle, blah 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 blah. There's so many different things. You could do this with a Trike. So since the vanilla Trike did so well, this time I have a Clay's Trike against a 150 Giga. Now, same as before, I'm going to go ahead and try and enrage this Giga. But otherwise, the Clay Trike is it's mostly a visual TLC, but with balanced stats to make it more Rex tier-ish. Because it's a bit strange when you think about it that Trikes are just awful against Rexes. So yeah, we got like a bit more of a Rex tier Trike, Clay Strike edit. And let's see how this one compares against a 150 Giga. So far, much better. Just due to it having more raw HP in general. But I do still want to keep on facing it. There we go. It does seem like that I am very susceptible to regular damage if I don't face it, so that's a thing to keep in mind. I've not got the numbers on, but it definitely feels that way, you know? Enrage is probably going to run out any moment now. Yeah, it just did. So it managed to get tons of torpor, but my Trike is rapidly losing health. If I'm not careful, I will fall behind. So again, we're shooting, we're backpedaling. That way it's still hitting my face. The Trike's head. There we go. And I think the Clay Strike has got this one. Right, there we go. Let it, get that first shot, or that last shot even. I'm just going to keep on going backwards, try and encourage it to hit the head of the Trike as much as possible, although that's not really happening when it bites down, is it? Oh, yep, and any moment now. There we go. Pretty decent as well. It's got a good amount of health available. And the Clay Trike saddle is level 39 opposed to the regular Trike at level 16. Wow, that was actually really good. I think I'm going to end there then, because it turns out that was 10 individual dinos, and I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun doing that. That was really quite exciting to see how each creature matches up. And hey, hopefully the information was helpful. Maybe it will help inform some of you as to, you know, the easiest early game strategies you could try and get a Giga Tame, or the more informed methods of doing it in the late game, the safest way possible. Either way, I hope it was helpful, and I mean, I'm up for more of the experiments in the future. So if you want to see any more dinos matched up to an EVO Giga, such as maybe Sivatherium, there is definitely a lot more that I could do, or just any more modded experiments in general. This was a good bit of fun, I'll be up for it. Yeah, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed it, I hope you found it helpful, and as always, I'll see you all again next time. Take care, have a wonderful day. Cheers.